Alrighty, alrighty. I took its sweet time there, kicking it over. It took about a minute for it to, when actually pushing the go live button, for it to actually go live, but that's fine. Today, not late. Got the stream scheduled properly, everything like that. Got a good breakfast this time. Had a good night's sleep last night too, so definitely helpful. And we were on Ackman's video. Yeah, slept much better. Much better. So I'm really happy about that. What I'm not happy is, whoa, I saw your message in OBS like instantly, and then it took the actual Windows about 5 seconds to update. So that was a bit weird. But oh well. Well, we will just soldier on with it. So, whoop, wrong one. Research stream page. Yeah, let us go with the bone wheel dance. Yeah. Look at him spin. Okay. So we're just going to get right into it. We are here at 2:57. Well, I'm at 2:40 technically, but we're at 2:57 in Ackman's video. This will be the last video we do for the research streams. If we finish this video early, I'll just do some kind of derpery run or something like that in Dark Souls 1. I'm also being a bit cheeky in that I am finishing downloading a game that I wanted to play. So that's currently going. Yeah. Yep. Well, it's been good so far. Like I said, I just have I have a few notes here. Obviously noting the change in section, and of course, if he doesn't elaborate on the lore and everything being the game's biggest draw, then we'll definitely have to showcase Vadi Vidya. That is if I use that. I'm keeping notes for things that I might use in the video. So the script itself has already started. I've already begun work on the entire script. I'm right now going in through each section, and each section I'm basically just doing each zone, and then we're going to explain what's in each zone. Then at the end, going to mention the community aspects, the online aspects, and stuff like that, and what I believe Dark Souls' greater impact on gaming was. Because yeah, I think Demon Souls is the one that set the groundwork for this. Dark Souls is the one that actually set the whole thing. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, Peace. Like I said, I've just got to keep notes as we go through. Like I said, I just put if not elaborated on. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Daniel K, good to see you. So let's just continue the video. Again, we got about 17 seconds here. I got it roughly to where it was, because you can't see on Media Player Classic, or whatever Windows 10's default is. You can't see what the numbers are when you're moving your bar around, so I just got it close.
So you could show an English teacher or a poetry class, and they'd be like, yeah, can you make me 50 copies of this exact experience, but in novel form, so we can go to extreme lengthy discussions about the significance of the pendant? Seriously, that's one of the game's biggest appeals. Just like poems and certain stories, the meaning you can find within is not always in plain sight. Dark Souls is no different, because you have to take a close look at it to understand what the fuck it's trying to say and what in God's name is going on.
Ooh, I like your cosplay there, sir. You're going for full Iron Tarkus, baby. 0300 Dark Souls. What the fuck? On.
Without abstract thinking and interpretation, you won't be able to get much out of Dark Souls' story.
08. Whoop. Shit. Agree mostly with that. Disagree a little bit. You can still get the general basis of what's going on without needing to, but stuff like Northern Undead Asylum. Well, if it's the Northern Undead Asylum, that implies that there are other undead asylums, because why would you specify this is the Northern Undead Asylum if it's the only undead asylum? You would just call it the Undead Asylum. But because they specify what cardinal direction it is, then you can logically assume, hey, maybe there's a southern one, a western one, an eastern one, maybe southwest, northwest. You know, there's things you can build up off of what you're shown. Okay, looks like we're going into a new transition.
From the moment you start in the Undead Asylum to the final showdown with literally Zeus but cooler.
Literally Zeus, but cooler. I might use that, actually. But cooler. That's they say all the undead are corralled to the north, but it said in this land the undead are corralled to the north. Yeah. So, that's what I mean. Like, they say that in this land, the undead are corralled and taken to the north, which is the Northern Undead Asylum. But why would you call it the Northern Undead Asylum? You know what I mean? Because then it means, like, okay, so our other areas, our other lands, do they take them to their own version of the Undead Asylum? So is there a southern one? So the southern lands take them to the south, the eastern lands go east, the western lands go west. Like, again, there are things you can infer based off of the naming of things as well. Zeus, but cooler.
The motivations and reasoning behind what you're doing is kept very vague. You're dropped into this huge forsaken...
Okay.
world with no real direction except to ring a bell.
Oh, dang, I wish you would have showed the full cutscene. That's my favorite thing, is an error of continuity, where the camera pans and shows you Firelink Shrine, you see the bonfire and everything, and there's no trees or anything like that. The Southern Undead Asylum, or as we know it, Florida. I don't know, Florida is dangerously based. I think they would have shipped all their stuff off to maybe Louisiana. I'm like, no, go to Louisiana. I should say it's dangerously based now, because their governor is a fucking legend at this point. It's kept very vague. Let's back up and just listen to the whole thing again.
The motivations and reasoning behind what you're doing is kept very vague. You're dropped into this huge forsaken world with no real direction except to ring a bell.
Yeah. 326. Is forsaken. Shows crestfallen after actually 2 Bells of Awakening. Yeah.
There are actually 2.
Oh, bots! Damn it. The bots have happened. The bots last stream were fucking ridiculous. The number of bots we had. No, but you know what's fascinating about Florida? So, the reason Florida gets such a bad rap is because Florida doesn't seal the lawsuits and court documentation, stuff like that, the way other states do. So, media can easily just go in and be like, well, do we need to pull something? Well, just pull up the court findings and documentation and everything like that, and then we can just go through that and post it and stuff like that. It's not the same as other states. So that's why that's why you get the Florida man. It is fascinating. Fascinating what happens. It's given them such a bad reputation, which is hilarious.
Bells of awakening.
Or ring 2 bells, I get. Yes. You might even breeze through the whole game without taking a second to look around, talk to people, or read item descriptions. Anyways, at surface...
That's a good point. Again, echoing the thing that has been said by a lot of the creators. Not all of them. The ones that are more disparaging of it, talk about how it's impossible and blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth and everything. But, yeah, they mention, or he mentions, I should say, that, yeah, you can go through the entire game and not look around or do the item discovery, stuff like that. So basically, it's up to you how invested you want to get. It is up to the player to determine their level of investment and if they delve deeper. Okay. Yeah, that explains it. Reminds me of when Belgium switched to all deaths have to have an autopsy performed result. The rate of murder shot up. Yeah. It's those, like, things that have unintended side effects. Still funny to joke about it, though, and that's what's truly important. Yeah, exactly. It's unintended side effects. Like, hey, we want to be open and transparent. And then what it ended up doing was it made the entire state look like a meme because they were being open and transparent. You have the same stupidity and stuff like that in every state, in every country around the world and stuff like that because people are people. It's gonna fucking happen. It's just that because Florida was being so transparent with it, yeah, it had the unintended side effect that it made everything, it exposed everything.
This value, one might look at Dark Souls and think, ugh, just another generic RPG with dragons, knights, swords, and magic. How many times have we seen that? I bet it was made by British people, too.
3:45. Goes on small tangent. Making fun of the usual so generic response. I should say a lot of people response. Some people say about the game.
But then once you start getting into it, it's like, wait a minute, why am I ringing 2 bells? Who the fuck's this asshole? What the sh...
By the way, very disturbing background behind Pinwheel and everything like that with this whole, he was punished so Nito actually fused all of his family to him. It's like, ugh, okay, yep. Makes it look like all of Florida is in a constant state of, oh god, it's alligator time, woo! Also with the Russian dash cam videos, it's not that Russia has more insurance frauds and crazy road accidents, just so many people use dash cams for insurance reasons, we get to see it all. Yeah, exactly.
Shit? Oh, there's demons now? Okay. Man, what's with the goddamn poison?
What's with the goddamn poison? Let's just do this. Some of the below. No, I should say not some of the below the surface. Note some of the observations that can begin to push players into investigating more. Why am I toxic? Yeah, I can't wait to talk about toxic. I know in my video I'm gonna probably have a freeze frame and then zoom in and do the usual like red filter and you know the people freaking out like an insane asylum and fire on the screen when I zoom in on one of those fucking little scarecrow pieces of shit. I would do would do the "You're toxic to me," but that would get fucking copyright claimed instantly. Even though it would be like 2 seconds. This video is probably going to be 4 hours long, honestly. So we'll have to see. But oh boy, yeah, it's going to be a long one for sure.
What is this place? I was just in a swamp killing giant mosquitoes, then I find this huge tree, and now I'm on this...
Oh, what is this place? I was just swamp, giant mosquitoes, and now on a giant tree.
This enormous lake fighting a 7-headed dragon and fucking...
This lake fighting a 7-headed dragon and clams?
Clams? What am I playing right now? What the hell is that?
You got so lucky he did the quick swipe and not the full-on... That's one of my favorite gifs, by the way. The guy doing, well, what is it, to one of the mushroom parents, and the mushroom parent fully charges back the the haymaker, and then just boom, right in his face, instantly kills him.
Why does that dragon look so weird? Why is it breathing crystals and shit? Ah! And it's...
Why does that dragon look so weird? Why is it breathing crystals and shit? Yeah, okay. Well, hey, at least we're going to end the research streams on, so far, a very entertaining video. Breathing crystals and shit. Hey, do you or the Stag team plan to focus on Resident Evil 8 at some point? Finished it, I'm going to say bit is what you meant to say ago, and oh boy, there's a lot you could say about it. Yeah, there's a lot we can say about it. I don't think we're going to be covering it at some point, because I have no desire to go back into Resident Evil 8. I have no desire to go into Resident Evil 8. I basically just watched all the coverage of it, because I was worried, because RE7 was not that good to me. I didn't enjoy RE7. I thought it was pretty fucking stupid. The part that everybody points out is when the dad cuts off Ethan's leg and then gives him a free healing thing so that he can stick his leg back on and heal it instantly. It's like, why did you... Why? You're trying to capture him or beat the shit out of him or detain him. Why, when you chop his leg off, he is easier to handle. Why did you give him his leg back and then give him a healing thing and just sit there like, yeah, that's a good boy. Put your leg back on. Woo! Drop the healing Jesus juice on your leg that I just chopped off. Oh, look at that. It came together. Oh, he's a good boy. It's like, what? Why? Why did you do that? What? None of this makes fucking sense. Ugh.
This idea of not knowing. These questions...
Oh, and not to mention the fucking... Oh, my God. Not to mention the officer... officer moron who gives you a knife out of nowhere. One, an officer would never do that. If you tell an officer you're in serious fucking danger and people are trying to kill you inside this house, they are more likely to immediately call for backup on the thing. I guess you could make the argument that there's no fucking connection to the outside world, but instantly he should have been like, fucking crazy people in here. I've got a guy inside who looks banged up, and he says that these people inside this house are trying to kill him. Need backup out here. God, the fucking knife thing. And then, of course, the officer walks into the garage and then starts yelling at Ethan. He's like, wait, why'd you close the door? I mean, you can see Ethan standing there, and he's not touching anything. You're literally looking at him, and you're still talking to him with, why are you closing the door behind me? What's going on? I dare you, I demand you open the door that's behind me. It's like, Ethan hasn't touched anything, and he is standing there, and what the fuck? Oh, God damn it. Everything in Resident Evil 7 is so shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. So, Resident Evil 7 did not inspire any confidence in Resident Evil 8, so I decided to just watch the coverage of it and everything like that. So, yeah. From Louisiana, can't confirm our cops are trigger happy. Well, all cops should be, honestly, because again, you are going to be dealing with somebody on their worst day ever, and you have no idea what somebody's going to do. Because people are dumb. Well, we know the real reason why he had to die. He was black, and we all know the rules of horror. Yeah, pretty much. This ain't no horror movie. The black guy don't die in this film. I'm trying to remember what that was from. I think it was from one of those, like, really shit scary movie, you know what I mean? Not the actual scary movie things, but those awful, like, date movie, superhero movie, those really god-awful comedies, in massive air quotes. Oh, you know what else I just realized? Yeah, hold on. Let's move this up so that looks a little bit nicer. There you go. There you go, chat. Now you can actually read who's at the bottom. Oh, dude. Yeah. And then Heisenberg keeping an anti-Heisenberg vehicle. He has his own anti-Heisenberg vehicle specifically so he can get killed by it. It's so stupid. And yeah, those spoof movies, that's right. That's what it is. Yeah, those awful, awful movies. No, I mean, our state police have a bad habit of shooting and beating under not reasonable circumstances. They're kind of assholes. I'm going to have to put a citation needed on that one. Reminds me of one of the trauma horror movies, Nudist Colony of the Dead, which has a black security guard in it. He books it out of the movie as soon as he can. Yeah, that's fair. Those are pretty funny when somebody is so aware of the tropes in and of themselves, they actually are able to survive because they know the tropes.
In your mind that you don't have answers for. This feeling of being out of the loop on everything but the bare essentials that creates this undying morbid
437. Wait, you don't keep a tank in your garage specifically for your enemies to fight you with when you turn into a giant abomination? What are you, some kind of weirdo? Yeah, exactly. I don't keep an anti-Setch tank in my garage. Nope. Oh, dude. Or where the fuck is Chris Redfield? Oh, well, he was actually helping you throughout the entire game. You just didn't know it because he was never there helping you throughout the entire fucking game. Okay. Yeah, fucking RE8, man. One thing I can say about RE8, I so want to punch Chris in the face. Pretty much everything going wrong is his fault. Yeah. Again, it's that really criminal bad writing trope of God, I hate that as a trope, but bad writing trope of poor communication kills, and it's like, oh my god, Just talk to each other, for God's sakes. Oh. Hey, Ethan. I'm sorry. Boom, boom. What the fuck? Just tell him why you're doing the things you're doing. Ugh.
Curiosity. Shit's pretty fucked up in Lordran, and you want to find out why. That's one of Dark Souls' greatest strengths, is it's so atypical in its presentation.
Yeah, I'll put that in. 04, 45. Thanks.
Most mainstream games are pretty straightforward in this regard because they need to have a story that babies can understand.
53. I need you to continue the Redfield bloodline. Oh boy. Keeping anti-U-Tank is like me having a copy of the Geneva Convention in my room. God. Oh. Let's see. I don't know why my brain was like, the understanding belongs to the baby. It's like, no, it doesn't. What the fuck are you doing? No, go back and fix that.
Which makes it all the more puzzling how Dark Souls was able to appeal to such a wide audience, because you can't go through the game.
Yeah, I can put that in. Oops.
And not be constantly asking questions. The plot is minimalistic, and it's up to the player to...
Let's put 07 in there.
come to their own conclusions. You fill in the blanks, and there's a fuck ton of blanks to fill in. You see this Sea of Thieves? That's how you create your own fun. Now there's always the possibility that by making your...
Okay.
story vague and confusing, it ends up making no sense and being vague and confused.
Yeah. I want to get that, see unrelated films above.
That's how you create your own fun. Now there's always the
Okay, 18. 18's when he starts it. Now there is always the possibility... No!
possibility that by making your story vague...
Also, on Souls-like games, I bought one called Ashen. Haven't played it yet. Reviews are kind of mixed. It's supposedly a more action-adventure Souls-like. There is a Souls-like I would recommend. The combat's not very good, and it doesn't have a lot of variety in it, but it's the exploration. Peak. If they got one aspect of Souls-like correct, it was the exploration. And that would be Hellpoint. Do not play the Hellpoint demo. Hellpoint the Thespian Feast is really shit. Incredibly so. So yeah, Hellpoint the Thespian Feast highlights all the bad things about Hellpoint without highlighting the good, aka the exploration, which is fucking astounding. To give a brief, non-spoilery synopsis of Hellpoint, it is a video. I'm actually working on a video for that as well. Those are the two videos I'm doing. I'm doing the Dark Souls analysis and I'm doing Hellpoint review. To give a non-spoilery thing, Hellpoint, to get to the end of Hellpoint, you actually are not required to do anything but discover what the truth is, or what you think the truth is. So that means interacting with information things will give you a bit of data. You know, interacting with people and talking with them will give you more information. So your whole goal is to get to 100% data collection, and then you can go to the end game. You can go to the end of the game immediately. However, you can go past that. You can do multiple bosses that will give you more data points and collections and stuff like that. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So every single area in the game is technically optional. Because you aren't required to actually do the bosses in the areas. The only exception would be the starting area. That's the only one that has a 100% requirement. I'd say, no, actually that's not true. The starting area and then the area right after the start. Then the game just opens up from there, and you can find so many routes to go to entirely different areas through secret passages that lead all around the entire thing. It's, oh boy. So yeah, Hellpoint, huge props for its exploration. Massive props. It's going to be 82 on Christmas Day and sunny, like I'm in freaking Australia, throwing damned lizards. Well, we got to keep the heat lamps running, okay? It's the winter times. We need all the heat lamps turned on. How else are we going to survive? Heat lamps! Alright. But yeah, so definitely, that's a recommendation. Again, go in with the understanding that the combat is pretty meh. It's very generic combat, and there isn't a lot of variety. I wish there was more. But the exploration is fucking amazing.
Vague and confusing, it ends up making no sense and being vague and confused.
Well, apparently the heat lamps in Washington are going to break this weekend because it's going to dip below freezing from what I was told. Ah, shit. Well, I'll send out the repair crews.
But then there's the other side where you have a unclear story, but the experience is so enchanting it makes you want to know more.
5:30.
No sense and being vague and confusing. But then there's the other side where you have a unclear story, but the experience is so enchanting it makes you want to know more.
Would you like to know more?
And that's what Dark Souls accomplishes, so it doesn't fall into the plain old just bad storytelling category. But look,
5:37-ish.
let's pull back this layer of dragon scales and actually look at what Dark Souls offers. within its narrative. Let's take a look at the depth within the onion.
Zero 5 55. Oop. There we go. Fixed it. The depths. All right. Whew.
I think anytime there's a series of books, movies, TV shows, video games, or whatever, and there's enough interest in the lore and background of that series to fuel 1.2 million.
Yep. Okay. So he shows Vadi. Yeah. 1.2 million at the time. It's gotten more since then. 0 0 6 0 0. I think it's a TV show, book, movie, or series that has enough interesting fuel showcases NVIDIA.
Subscribers into a YouTube channel? Yeah, I think it's safe to say people are interested.
Okay. Boop. Yeah, and absolutely. Like I said, we already put a note there. If he didn't expand upon it before, we would use VodiVidya to highlight the fact that people are very, very fucking interested.
The amount of fan theories and lore explanation videos on this series should tell you all you need to know about how involved gamers are with the story. An interesting tidbit I read was the idea that the item descriptions in-game are actually the player character's thoughts. Probably not true, but...
Well, it'd be interesting if that was the player's thoughts, though it would be amazing how you would know certain things.
But some items become much more interesting when you look at things that way.
Yeah, and I agree. Though I would say that the theory's not true. Otherwise, like, how would you know a lot of the intricate details? Truthfully, how would you really know that? Also, I see Dark Wraith +1. Acting male is a man of culture.
And that's the great thing about interpretive stories. The way you look at it. Dark Souls is fucking deep. You don't need me to tell you that. And there's plenty of reasons why. So many that I don't have time to explain them all. Well,
Alright.
for one, ambient music is basically non-existent. There's a total of 4 areas in the entire...
Yeah.
Our game, excluding boss battles, where music played.
Nice. Alright. But yeah, let's think about the areas where they play. Ash Lake is obviously the big one. Firelink Shrine. So yeah, Firelink Shrine, Ash Lake. Does right next to Quellog's sister. I think right next to. I think the Fair Lady has music. Oh. Oh, well, I got something I gotta dig into and research. I'm trying to think of. Okay, well, let's see if he mentions them.
Firelink Shrine, Daughters of Chaos Bond.
Yep. Okay, so I was right. Fair Lady.
Bonfire, Guinevere's hot and steamy bedroom, and
it was Guinevere. It was Guinevere's room. I didn't remember. 00, 6, 58, Firelink, daughter, whoop, on fire, bedroom, yep.
Ash Lake. If you played through Dark Souls, then you know each one of these areas are vitally important, and the music creates a unique tone and feeling for each one. Sadness and sorrow.
So let's put that in as well. 09. I'm going to keep a note like this. Sadness and sorrow. There's chaos. Dots? Dots of chaos! Metal dots is...
Hope and faith.
Hey, you know, just... Faith... Shh. Oh, Guinevere. I forgot. Guinevere has an E at the end. Praise the boobs!
Magnificence and awe. Warm and welcoming.
Firelink. Yeah, alright. Ah, yes, Ash Lake, a what the fuck area in a game full of what the fuck areas. Yeah, pretty much. But, as we know, Dragon Covenant, best Covenant.
This lack of music creates a feeling of isolation for the majority of the experience.
Oh, God.
And this means there's nothing to distract you from the world you're in. The only things that follow you through Lordran are the sound of your footsteps and clanking armor.
Good point. 48. I wonder why the bots are becoming so much more, like, frequent, I guess?
And it makes those moments when you hear music much more powerful as a result. The combat is deep too, and we'll talk about that a bit later.
Hang on a second.
Your footsteps and clanking armor. And it makes those moments when you hear music much more powerful as a result.
It's the highs and lows. It is the concept of highs and lows. Same reason why Yakuza works so well. It's comedic and relaxed tone and side content helps to contrast the dark and depressing beats within its story. Their collective consciousness is increasing. The robots are rising up. Well, not if us lizards take over first.
The combat is deep too, and we'll talk about that a bit later.
Okay, so he is going to mention combat later. 0755. Oh no. This might not actually be... I just looked at the time. Because... Curse me and going on my tangents. This might not actually be the last day we do Ackman's video. We might have to do Ackman's video next Tuesday. Post-Christmas. Shit. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. It's a good video so far. There hasn't been a moment of, like, what? Or where I've needed to put, like, no, we need to elaborate on this. I'm elaborating on this here. Because, again, it's just a concept in writing. You have the highs and the lows. So, because you have joyous moments, it makes the sad moments stand out all the more. Because you have a contrast. You have something to compare it with. If it's just all constantly dark and depressing all the fucking time, you get fatigue. Or if it's all just joy and happiness, you get fatigue. It's why I prefer Warhammer Fantasy over Warhammer 40k. Warhammer Fantasy, for Warhammer 40k is super grim dark. Like, grim, it's all life sucks, all terrible, bad, terrible, bad. And so that's why the stuff that stands out are the things that go between. Like, Cyphus Cain stands out so much because there's a lot of humanity and hope within his books. But Warhammer Fantasy is pretty much always like that. Like, my favorite series in Warhammer Fantasy is Matthias Thulman, which is the Witch Hunter, Witch Finder, Witch Killer books. A very good book series to me. I'm incredibly biased. I love witch hunters, so I'm biased in that regard, but very good book series. But there's a lot of joy and happiness in those things, too. There's a lot of darkness as well, but there's a lot of, like, the townspeople are celebrating a new, like, festival and everything like that, and everyone's happy and everything. But, underneath the surface, there's somebody lurking, stalking the witch hunter and everything like that, and wants to kill him and stuff. So, it's just stuff like that. I'd say Dark Souls is very much not all bleakness. That's the thing that we need to highlight in, maybe Dark Souls 2 is all more bleakness. Like, in thinking of it, there's not a lot of, like, hope in Dark Souls 2. It's pretty fucked. Dark Souls 3, there's more of a sense of hope. Because you have the hope that the system works, that the fire will be rekindled, and so on and so forth. There are forces that are arrayed against you to stop this from happening. But it feels like because they have the ritual and everything like that, that they know, hey, don't panic. We know what's happening. We will continue the cycle. The world will be renewed. It'll all be fine. And the ending of Dark Souls 3, the actual proper ending, against Gale and everything like that, really builds up that, hey, this isn't the end. A new world will be born from this. When you take the blood of the Dark Soul to the painter and she decides to create a new painted world. It will be a cold but comfortable place. That's the what is it? The Betray the Fire ending has that, where the Firekeeper takes the first flame and says, now darkness will reign, but I see within the darkness dancing embers, or embers dancing within the dark, indicating that, hey, even though we're going to have darkness for now, this is how the world progresses. We had the Age of the Archtrees, Everlasting Dragons. Then we had Gwyn's Age of Fire, and it is only because of Gwyn's corruption that the world became so fucked. Now that we're letting the natural order take its toll, the fire fades, because it's supposed to. The fire fades over time. Now darkness and humanity will rise, and then fire will come again. Yeah. Okay, anyways, we gotta get back to this. Let's get through as much of the video as we can. We gotta get through as much of the video as we can, so we'll hopefully not have as much to cover on Tuesday. Because I was gonna say if we got through this video quick enough, we'd do a Dark Souls run, but yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
But what I find to be the single greatest thing about Dark Souls is how everything is connected, not just in map layout.
It's a pretty nice map layout.
But in items, bosses, enemies, NPCs, they all connect together to form a greater whole. Take the classic gameplay element of dying and respawning.
So this might be the first video that actually mentions that this is an intrinsic part of the world. The dying and respawning. Take the...
In pretty much every other video game except BioShock, once again, the concept of respawning has little to no explanation at all.
BioShock once again. And you say, wait, make sure he got
Dying and respawning. In pretty much every other video game except BioShock, once again, the concept of respawning has little to no explanation at all, because it's just a video game.
Here's a video game.
But in Dark Souls, death and
Oh boy, you are about to, you're about to get the full fucking force. You're about to get the hand, son.
respawns aren't just gameplay mechanic. But in Dark
Mushroom Parents
Souls,
smash!
death and respawns
Uh,
Aren't just gameplay mechanics. They're part of the story. You are
man, if you ever see the mushroom parent do the full on left hand comes forward, right hand goes back, you know they're doing the full force wind up, and it is going to be a chunky bit of damage.
undead, branded with the dark sign, which means you cannot truly die.
How do you kill that which has no life?
But each death brings you closer to hollowing, a concept we'll explore later on. So you're linked to the fire, you are linked to the flame, and as long as there are bonfires, you will keep coming back. It's not often you see a game
Yo, just got paid a day early. I'm happy. Nice. Glad to hear it. Yeah, you got shroomed.
that has justification for its gameplay mechanics written into its lore.
Oh,
Let me ask you, have you ever thought about what Estus actually is?
0, 3.
And why it heals you? Most people probably saw it as any other item that restores health, because it's just a video game.
And as any other. It's just a video. Vijagarm.
Game. Hearts, potions, medkits, food, magical green herbs that definitely isn't weed.
Yeah, definitely not weed. Nope, Resident Evil 4 ain't about working that dank kush.
A harmonious melody. Games never explain why you get healed from this shit, because it really doesn't matter. But in Dark Souls, it...
Okay. I guess I'll put that. I don't need to go through his montage of it, but matter.
does. Estus is bottled fire, people. That's why it refills at the bonfire.
9:30. People. Bonfire, people. Vijagarm. Personal theory: Estus reminds you, your undead body, of what it was like to be alive. I can see that. But yeah, it is basically, you are basically bottling up the flame to carry with you. It's to give you revitalization, as if you were sitting at a bonfire.
You capture the flame in your flask. Dark Souls is about disparity between...
Cool. $9:35.
between life and death, fire and darkness, and the bonfires are beacons of life. Miracles come from Gwyn and his faithful knight.
Did he say a reminder of life?
Flame in your flask. Dark Souls is about disparity between life and death, fire and darkness, and the bonfires are beacons of light.
I do like that picture. Toasted marshmallows at the bonfire with the boys. We got Solaire, Black Iron Tarkus, and Sigmar of Katarina. Or you could say Siglind of Katarina. Either one works.
Miracles come from Gwyn and his faithful knights. Pyromancy comes from the Witch of Izalith and their Daughters of Chaos. And sorcery
Five. I don't need to put a thing there. Chaos 009 50 from Big Daddy Big Daddy Dragon Seath. Alright, we'll see what he actually says.
comes from Seath the Dankless.
The Dankless. Alright, what else did he have on screen there with Nito?
Pyromancy comes from the Witch of Izalith and her Daughters of Chaos. And sorcery comes from
Dark magic comes from Manus in the Abyss. Poison, toxic, etc. comes from Nito. Let's see. Notes. Dark magic comes from Manus and the Abyss. While poison, toxic, and disease come from Nito. Yeah, fuck that. Dude, I am so happy that the Latin American community is rebelling against Latinx. They're like, that is the stupidest fucking thing we've ever heard. Go fuck yourself. I'm like, yes. Ah, yes.
Seath the Dankless. These gameplay tools have reason to be in the game beyond their immediate use.
D5.
You could run through the list of items, mechanics, tools, and weapons and connect each one of them as pieces to form the greater whole of Dark Souls.
As pieces. Nobody understands the leftist cult. Nobody.
Is universe, story, and lore. And that's the beauty of this game. That's where the depth comes from.
Okay. Purpose and theme. 0, 10, 13. Purpose and theme.
Now the story meaning and purpose behind Dark Souls is riddled with obscurity and has plenty of room for different interpretations. And while I could...
Okay. Purposes. Okay. Oh, you're right. It's stretch out time. Okay. Do a quick stretch.
I could turn this video into something that discusses nothing but the lore for 40 plus minutes. I'm more or less going to highlight what I think are the most important themes or messages
Okay.
that Dark Souls tries to hammer home.
Whoops.
The things I learned. I encourage you to share your own thoughts as well. So we have the basic premise of the player being an undead in an asylum, where they're all corralled to await the end of the world.
Oh, man, I'm having terrible typing today. I also have a really bad typing habit where I will use the 3 fingers on my right hand and thumb, and I will use the 2 fingers on my left hand and thumb to type. It is a really stupid typing method that slows me down quite a lot. And my god, I have been trying to learn to type properly, but if we want to see how typing properly goes, I will type the next one out using the proper method of typing and talk about how much muscle memory sucks.
This is your fate.
Well, that's a pretty shitty fate right there. But homeboy Oscar breaks you out because there's a prophecy. The chosen undead, who's supposed to travel to...
10, 50. Alright, here we go. Oh, god damn. No! Humming. No! Why you? Ah, damn it. Ah. God damn it. God damn it, Bobby. Ah, fuck. Alright, yeah, you get the point. Ugh. High school, so I don't remember how I type on one. Well, my thumbs are fast when typing on my phone, though. Yeah, I can't type fast. I cannot type fast on a phone whatsoever. Holy hell no. Typing properly is the Dark Souls of typing. Not really. Typing properly is the correct method. My method of typing is more like the Dark Souls of typing. It is insanity. Well, see, that's the funny part is I can do my typing method blind. I don't need to look at my keyboard or do anything like that. It's just that I only have to pay attention to the space where I'm actually typing, and I know how to fix and correct what I did. The unfortunate part is just that it's a lot slower than if I knew how to do touch type.
Lordran, and ring the bells of awakening. And when you do that...
The fate of the undead thou shalt know.
So right off the bat, we want to know what's going to happen to the undead. What's going to happen to us? All these NPCs, all these, roaming hollows. That question is put into your mind from the very beginning.
Alright. Whoa! Nice transition.
Cutscenes are rare, and none are more
Yep, definitely, I would agree with that.
jam-packed with information than the opening.
This is also a big thing where the opening for Dark Souls 1 and 3, the reason they're so much better than 2 is that they focus on the world. The concept of the world. It's setting the stage for the experience you are about to have. Like why things are happening, who the major players are, and so on and so forth. Dark Souls 2 fails utterly in this regard because it focuses on you, the player, which actually destroys a lot of the roleplay aspects of it. Like, whoever you are, you had a wife and a child, or a sister who had a child, and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that cut into that. It's just not a good system. And the whole, like, and you'll end up there, and not knowing why. It's like, that's so fucking dumb. It's so stupid. They should have focused on the Kingdom of Dranlaic more and more throughout the opening cutscene of Dark Souls 2. It's one of the first signs that Dark Souls 2 did not understand what Dark Souls was.
What this scene showcases is how man came to be, how they became gods, how they...
Man didn't become gods. We need to stress that. Mankind itself did not become gods.
took the world by storm and destroyed the previous regime. To create their own. When fire
Yep, that's...
was created, we learned of our existence. We strove to discover, explore, and build. And we found soul within the flame. Metaphorically and physically. Incidentally, you could look at the real-world discovery of fire by primitive man as arguably the most revolutionary thing to happen in the history of human beings.
I mean, yeah.
Once we found fire, the world was forever changed around us.
But remember one thing. Always fear the flame, lest you be devoured by it and lose yourself. I would hate to see that happen again.
So much of what Dark Souls presents is relatable to the real world. You can interpret the idea of prolonging the Age of Fire or ushering in the Age of Dark as a message on the rise and fall of civilization.
Hey, Legionary Hunter. Welcome, welcome.
For example, the Roman Empire thrived for centuries, but eventually its flames faded, and despite their best efforts to keep the Age of Romans alive, nothing could stop the coming dark. How long will our age last?
Hopefully a lot longer. I mean, we'll have to see.
Old Roman deities were cast aside, replaced with a new god and his son. Just as you can become the harbinger of a new age in Dark Souls, the Age of Dark.
12, 30, notes on the fall of Rome. The old Roman gods replaced by one god and his son, and a new age. 0, 12, 40. Just as you become harbinger of a new age, and you usher in the darkness. 11-hour shift today, hurrah. Oh, damn. We only made it 10 more minutes into the performance mail video. Yep, we're 10 minutes in, and we're almost an hour and a half, so 10 more minutes. So it's definitely looking more likely that it's going to be Tuesday, another Tuesday. Dude, that video of Rome didn't actually exist. It was a figment of imagination created by the Victorians and the church. God, the fact that there are people like that in the world should terrify you. That there are people that are that fucking dumb. Actually, let's do this. Okay, cool.
Typical Lord of Darkness trope in fantasy stories works better in the world of Lordran than most other stories.
No. Oh, God. Yeah.
I really enjoy the ambiguity of the endings because it's great for speculation.
Oops.
And what I saw in these endings is that they are rooted in polar opposite ideas, that of self-sacrifice and self-preservation. Martyrdom or apathy?
I don't know if I'd say apathy for the dark ending. I'd say you could do more things like curiosity, desire, will over subservience, martyrdom, sacrifice. Yes, there are people that don't believe Rome exists, and she calls herself an academic, and she constantly calls ancient Roman Greek, and it's like, no. And if you actually look at them side by side, they don't even look close to each other, and oh god, she doesn't know how to do research and everything like that. She believes that it's all a conspiracy. Same thing with like the flat earth. They're just like, it's conspiracy. It's like, how does saying the earth is round make these people money? How?
But as we all know,
Apathy is death.
No. What? Again, you're not apathetic in the Dark Lord ending. You aren't apathetic in the Dark Lord ending. You could assign curiosity, desire, ambition as the real Lord ending. After all, it is supposed to become the age of man and not the gods. Let's put it like that, God's age of fire anymore. Yeah, and apparently she self-identifies as a witch and stuff like that. So, you know, she's literally the crazy blue-haired. Following the light side ending is pretty much submitting yourself to destiny. Yeah.
maybe Dark Souls is meant to portray the calamity and hopelessness of knowing the empire, the civilization you serve.
Server.
Of the place you call home is coming to an end. How do you deal with...
Well, what is it? I just killed Guinevere. Well, what is it?
with the coming dread? In this sense, the undead and the dark could be seen as the always present threat of a tide of people who... place you call home is coming to an end. How do you deal with the coming dread? In this sense, the undead and the dark could be seen as the always present threat of a tide of people who are bound to one day replace your way of life with their own.
In a sense, the... Okay. See, that's why we had to burn them. Imagine all the cringe. Meanwhile, her parents and grandma are super Christians. That seems to be what happens is the people that are more fanatically dogmatic will push the opposite extreme in their children. You know, one thing that kind of puzzled me with Patches is he never aware you are undead and can just come back from his death traps. No, he expects you to go hollow. Patches wants you to go hollow. Patches' whole thing is that he's punishing the greed of man. And he especially hates liars, which is why he hates the priesthood. Because the clerics and everything like that are promoting a false religion. The Way of White is the whole thing of like the undead are an unclean thing. He fucking hates that. Patches absolutely despises that the Way of White exists. That's why he hates clerics. Because Gwyn had the Way of White created to trick people into thinking that the undead curse is just that. It's a curse. It's an unclean thing. You must lock these people away and blah, blah. The whole thing was created as a sham. Because Gwyn so feared the coming of the New Age. So he demonized what was coming. Because he saw that the very thing that he had done to the everlasting dragons and the archtrees was coming to him now. And he rebelled against that idea. Meanwhile, what do we see happening? The dragons are still around. They adapt, they change with the time, they continue onwards. It's why the dragons always exist in the Souls universe. Because they are constantly adapting, whereas the gods themselves could not. They were inflexible. Yeah, so when you come back, not hollow again. When he kicked the other, remember in Dark Souls 1 especially, when he kicked the others into the pit, they turned hollow. The two other clerics turned hollow and went mad. It was only the priestess who remained sane.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
This theme of different ages collapsing and rising is present in both sequels, which means it's
Well, they kind of had to, because after Dark Souls 2 fucking chuffed everything, they kind of had to fix it in Dark Souls 3.
Something the designers wanted you to think about. One theme that sticks out very well in the Dark Souls experience is perseverance. Individual.
I would absolutely agree.
The undead, or humans, are weak, fragile creatures. The enemies that don't outmatch you in size will simply outnumber you. Throughout the game, you encounter...
Let's listen to that again.
Individually, the...
Okay, individually. That's what he said. 13, 50. Whoops. Ah, I did it again. What is it with me and doing that backwards? Oh, God.
Undead, or humans, are weak, fragile creatures. The enemies that don't outmatch you in size will simply outnumber you. Throughout the game, you encounter several bodies with helpful items, and while most of them could be looked at as simply items left by the developers for the player, I see a deep...
Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Guys, you don't need to comment on the bots. The more you comment on the bots, it just makes it more annoying. So if you just see a bot, don't mention anything. It's going to get removed eventually. Again, it takes YouTube about 10 seconds for it to actually trigger when I ban them.
Deeper meaning. Because why is it that most every item you find is tied to a corpse?
Oh, I saw that.
Be looked at as simply items left by the developers for the player. I see a deeper meaning. Because why is it that...
1405 makes note that the corpses and the scales in Ashg. Excuse me.
Most every item you find is tied to a corpse. Isn't that strange? It's because every one of those things was left behind by the person who died there.
Rip Tarkus the man, yep. Because
individually you suck, but as more and more undead travel to fulfill the prophecy, as undead are caught in the crossfire of all these colliding forces, at some point or another they finally succumb.
yeah.
So as you journey through Lordran, you encounter greater souls, better items, stronger weapons, all from others who made it farther than the last. Even in death, the undead that came before you are helping you by leaving something.
Told the SL1, no gear, no hit, all boss speedrunners? Yeah.
Useful behind. You essentially get the accrued knowledge, weapons, skills, equipment, and items of every single traveler or unfortunate soul in Lordran, because you are destined to succeed where others have failed.
1450. He hasn't talked about the big one, and that what is perfectly tied in to the gameplay, and the story, is that if you quit Dark Souls as a player, well, you just went hollow. That's it. It's perfectly fitting in the world. You failed, you gave up, you went hollow.
You're the main character, after all.
As I explained earlier, I'm the main character.
The chosen undead. But this also ties in with the game's difficulty. As an undead, finding purpose and striving towards a goal is what keeps you from hollowing.
Yep. 10.
Slow process where a person loses their mind and sanity. Every gamer's goal when playing Dark Souls is to beat it. But what of those who never did?
Ooh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this is the big thing that I was mentioning.
What of those who ran up against a wall they couldn't climb, a tower they couldn't scale? They became the Hollows of Lordran. You see, you only become hollow when you quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So by persevering through failure, you, the chosen undead, will feel great satisfaction when you overcome those challenges that gave you so much trouble.
So you... It was one of those points that annoyed me in Dark Souls 2. What does becoming hollow mean? Obviously, you turn more and more into an ugly zombie. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't understand the nature of it. That's why I enjoyed Dark Souls 3, where you don't have that happen to you unless you go for the Lord of Hollows ending. Where you purposely embrace the curse and you begin to destroy your own body in the name of the curse.
You will run up against an enemy that seems unbeatable. You will die. You will fail. But it doesn't matter how many times you are slain, how massive...
Let's see.
and impossible the road ahead might seem, because so long as you push against...
Oh my god, he had a vagrant blocking his path. Dude, talk about getting destroyed at the Sniper Brothers by one of the most unforeseen consequences you could ever imagine. Okay? You can never, ever foresee this.
Massive and impossible the road ahead might seem, because...
A fucking vagrant is spawned right where you need to go, and there's no way to get around it. Oh, getting killed by a unicorn. Oh, you son of a bitch. That is like winning the jackpot, and the jackpot is like an IRS audit or something like that. Oh boy. Oh god.
Times you are slain, how massive and impossible the road ahead might seem, because so long as you push against the inevitable...
Say, have you seen any miracle resonance rings from any of these videos yet? No. But seeing the seeing an actual unicorn kill Ackman here is pretty fucking funny.
How many times you are slain, how massive and impossible the road ahead might seem, because so long as you push against the inevitable and learn from failure, you will survive in Lordran and you will survive the real world.
Oh, okay.
And you'll come out stronger than before, ready to take on the next challenge.
Oh, fuck.
Hollowing in the Dark Souls universe is one of the coolest concepts I've ever seen a game present. It's a microcosm of losing your...
10. Whew.
Purpose in the real world. Could also be seen as a metaphor for depression. Those
Whoop, the
that go hollow submit to their darkest feelings, their sadness, dread. They give up and lose themselves.
Ah, rest in peace, Sigmire. You were a great companion. Shame that Sigland had to put you down.
Life is about overcoming challenges, solving problems, and carving some meaning out of your existence. What value does a person's life have if they don't strive to accomplish something? What satisfaction do you get from life when there are no problems to solve?
Oh boy.
Just as characters go hollow in Dark Souls, you too would go hollow in the real world if you did nothing with your life. There's far more to this game than...
I don't know about that as a statement, but there are people that sure seem like it. Just as people go Dark Souls.
meets the eye, and it's because of its open-ended method of storytelling that your interpretations might be different. They might be completely different, but no matter who you are or what you might think, just state.
Oh man, getting cursed. Whoa. No, not just still trying to make things. At least I don't think he's stopped that. Damn, Ackman, why you gotta call me out like that? Yeah, I know, right?
That your interpretations might be different. They might be completely different, but no matter who you are or what you might think, just stay safe, friend, and don't you dare go hollow.
Next section. Jolly cooperation. Oh, nice. Nice. 10. Oh. No, not 7110. Jesus, 1710.
Now when it comes to gameplay, the combat in Dark Souls has a lot of depth, too. There's so many cool weapons and badass armor. In this game, you can look like an onion, for Christ's sake. That's the armor Shrek would wear. Certain styles of weapons have different movesets, and everything has its advantages, disadvantages, and requirements. Except the Ring of Favor and protection. That's the best thing in the world.
Just don't take it off. Yeah, exactly. Has its advantages and disadvantages. Doesn't take it off by accident. Yeah, once you put the FAP ring on, you cannot take the FAP ring off. I mean, you can, but you'll be very sad when you do.
And you'll need to be smart about what you invest in. Pro tip, resistance is the best stat to level. I max it first.
Oh, please don't let anybody listen to that. Wait. Hang on a second.
hacks! Here come the hacks! Here come the hacks! The hacks! The hacks!
There you go. I figured that was worth it. Oh. Anyways, memes about resistance leveling. Yeah. Cheater, pumpkin eater right there. Level 60 character, but has almost max stats and everything. Yeah. Cheater, pumpkin eater.
But this is where the currency, souls, what else did you think it would be, comes into effect. Souls are the lifeblood of your journey.
Those were man hacks. So that's comes from Half-Life 2 in man hacks. But yeah, I was referencing the fact that he was level 60 and almost max stats, so he should be like level 800. Oh god. Means about resistance leveling. Discussion on souls as a currency.
If you die 2 times in a row without returning to the spot you first perished, you'll lose all the souls you had. You want to avoid this at all costs. But you also need to carry enough souls to be able to actually buy things, and I love this risk-reward playstyle that Dark Souls offers.
Oh, better bullshit.
Because the 2-death system means that you didn't learn from your first mistake.
That's a good point. Very good point. 18. We'll do it straight at 18.
And you made it again. If you can't get back to the spot that you first died, there's plenty of builds to experiment with, and that's where the fun begins.
The blur. Yeah, basically. The bed of bullshit is fucking annoying as shit.
Because you can't realistically cover everything in one playthrough. You have to make decisions about what playstyle you like best.
Oof.
So you can
Oof. Parried. And they have Sever with Wrath of the Gods. They have Sanctus on, so they're healing slowly. And, yeah, that's gonna be Sunlight Blade.
optimize in it or try to find a general balance in between. Some weapons...
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. That's how you do. That's how the save and quit thing works. If you want to make that fight much more tolerable, you just run, smack the daughters on either side of it, and then just save and quit, and you're back at the start. Go down, and you can just run straight ahead into the goal, basically.
Hit hard, but they weigh you down and are easy to dodge. Others can inflict status effects, and all the sets of armor offer different levels of protection. Dark Souls has an amazing and rewarding progression system, and on the opposite... side, it can be brutally punishing too. Losing your souls and humanity too many times can set you back. And in my case,
excuse me. Nope, not what I meant to do.
I felt I had to restart the game. But the knowledge I got from that initial
Yeah.
playthrough stuck with me. It feels great to finally be able to use that sorcery spell you've had forever, or that giant great
Now that is a great trade right there. That is a trade you will make every day of the week.
axe that looks badass, or to be able to not fat roll while wearing full havels. These accomplishments give power, satisfaction, and pride to the player because they happen both in the long term and the short term. Because if you're like me, then you're creating and improving your build throughout the entire game. Best part of it is, damn near everything is viable in PvE, especially dexterity. Am I right, son, bro?
Oh.
But the mechanics, the flow of combat is where the game truly shines. Because it doesn't matter how upgraded your equipment is,
Ah! Ugh. Bit of
how
finger
good your
fuckery going
weapons are, if you can't
there. Ah! Man, oh man.
manage this little green bar right here, if you can't dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, and block, you ain't gonna get through shit.
You gonna get through shit. How upgraded your equipment is? Let's fist. That's a Gwyn. Yeah. It's possible. Again, we did it with, we did it on our no weapons run through the game. Once you get Dragon Covenant, no weapons runs are very simple, and if you're allowed to use dupes and everything like that, very, very simple to do. You don't even need to upgrade strength or anything like that. No strength or dexterity or anything like that. No. All you got to do is you just got to upgrade your health and your endurance and everything, and you are totally set with Dragon Covenant. Yeah, or just spam parry. L2, 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 L2. Or do the Estus Chug, the Gwyn Chug, where he does a jump attack, you parry it, you riposte. Chug, he stands up, does his two-handed attack to punish a chug, parry, riposte. Chug, stands up, two-handed attack to punish the chug, parry, riposte. Chug, and so on forth. You can really exploit his AI.
This green bar right here, this is your stamina, your soul, your life. Every action you take besides walking requires stamina, and it's the game's way of...
Ooh! Almost got shotgunned by Darkbead.
limiting what you're capable of.
Oh, did get shotgunned by Darkbead, but the person was very suboptimal. Hold on.
This is your stamina, your soul, your life. Every action you take besides walking requires stamina.
So, just gold,
And it's the game's way of...
Sanctus Shield. Man, oh man, I would not use Sanctus Shield. I mean, you could, but doesn't look like he has the Dust Crown on. I can't tell because the bit rate is so low. Can't tell if it's Dust Crown. Judging by the damage, no, but you're also not
Limiting
using... You're not using the tin catalyst? Ooh. Don't you want to...
capable.
Don't you want to, like, wreck people? Instead of doing that much damage, you would have fucking taken at least down to here. He didn't get one-shotted by Darkbead. Yeah, exactly. So which means that our little mage here is not very optimal. It's a shotgun, damn it.
Love. The entire game must be played around it. Unless you play a cheesy glass cannon sorcery build. Like a quick...
Now this is what peak performance looks like. Dust Crown, Tin Crystal, Pursuers. Yeah, this is it. JK, sorcery is cool. Mage just R1 spamming, no stamina consumption, kind of broken. Or it's even better. Dark Moon Blade, Falchion with Knight's Armor, and of course the Grasscrest Shield on your back like a total fucking plebeian. Oh, I'm sorry, Ouroboros, I didn't see you over there. Oh, I'm kidding. I love you, Oro. Oh, God. You're a bit of a doofus at times, but you know what? Yeah, that's life.
Weirbo. Keeping with the tradition of ambiguity, the only means of directly communicating with other players in front of you is through emotes that aren't sold in loot boxes for once. Holy shit! It adds a bit of comedy to the game, and it's the limitations of how
Dark Spirit
sold
Send
in
is
loot
invaded
boxes
Sin's
for
Fortress.
once. Holy shit! It adds a bit of comedy to the...
My favorite. I have been invaded by a Dark Spirit Sen, and what they did was they were in full Black Iron Tarkus armor and everything like that, and they jumped from the top of Sen's Fortress with the cat ring, and they landed on one of the swinging pendulums, and they just sat there the whole time, just waiting for me as they're going back and forth.
the game, and it's the limitations of how you can communicate that makes it so fun. Against the AI, you have to anticipate the movements of your enemies, charging in recklessly without...
Okay. Speaking of which, did a good haul yesterday. Got me Dark Souls 3, Phantom Pain, Wasteland 3, and both Mega Man X bundles. He just waiting there menacingly. Yeah, basically. And I knew what he was gonna do, because why wouldn't you? He had a Chaos Firestorm. So he was just sitting there going back and forth on the pendulum with the giant shield and everything like that. So I couldn't actually hit him or anything like that. Can't run around him because he's just swinging back and forth on the pendulum. And he knows you gotta go past that pendulum, and it's a narrow little walkway. And so we were just waiting there with Chaos Firestorm. So the moment you committed, the moment you had to run through the first pendulums, Chaos Firestorm comes down. Welcome to Sin's Funhouse.
Without a plan is bound to get you killed.
Yeah, it's a pretty good haul. I'd personally say meh on Phantom Pain, but I really didn't like Metal Gear Solid 5 was shit to me. I should say. I think it's objectively shit, but I would need to actually go through and do an analysis video to determine if that's true or if I just feel like it's that way. I know one thing's for sure is they're god awful. This episode starring blank blank blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, thanks for spoiling everything. Thank you so much for that, you fucking idiots. Just so that Kojima could get his damn name put up in every fucking 10 minutes of the game. Oh. God damn, oh yeah. Phantom Pain's, I'm definitely getting flashbacks back to Phantom Pain and how much I hate that game.
Yeah, you might be able to set that first-person shooter to easy and take out everything without sweating, but Dark Souls doesn't have a difficulty setting, okay, bitch?
0, 20, 30. Yeah, sure. You can set that first-person shooter to easy. Okay, bitch. Yeah. Easy. Some of the areas in level design of the older Metal Gear Solids were, and I was kind of disappointed in how much Metal Gear Solid 5 feels like Far Cry in that regard. Yeah, it does feel like an Ubisoft game. And then, of course, the big meme. The big meme for it was the Fulton recovery system, which does not work how the Fulton recovery system works at all. It is so dumb. It's like, the joke was that Kojima got through the first couple sentences of the Fulton recovery system on Wikipedia and then just went off into fucking crazy land from there.
You gotta be a man or a woman. Every enemy is different, and most likely, you're going to die to each one of them
That are most normal enemies, probably not the super easy ones. Yeah.
at least once. However, this is where Dark Souls offers a level of mastery for the players to achieve. By learning the patterns and moves of your foes so well, you can fight them without even taking a hit. With enough time, practice, and
yeah, we're definitely putting that in. Let's make sure we get the full thing of exactly what he said.
mastery for the players to achieve. By learning the patterns and moves of your foes so well,
He did a
it's
double
one of
there.
them at least once. However, this is
So 44 is where this one begins. This is where we'll just do from there.
where Dark Souls offers a level of mastery for the players to achieve. By learning the patterns and moves of your foes so well,
Oh,
each
damn it.
one of them at least
Didn't mean
once.
to do that.
However, this is where Dark Souls offers a level of mastery for the players to achieve. By learning the patterns and moves of your foes so well, you can fight them without even taking a hit.
I think one of the most impressive displays I've ever seen was a Bloodborne video where a guy knew the movesets of every enemy so well that he could play through it without ever rolling or dashing or running or doing anything like that. And to showcase this, he fought Lady Maria without rolling, without dashing, without anything like that, and he didn't get hit a single time. And I don't mean he just parry spammed her. No. The guy fucking just, it was a total curb stomp. I know Jesus Here's Toast has seen that clip of the guy going through it, and it was pretty fucking impressive. That's for sure. Yeah, Just Cause 4 was pretty much a downgrade of 3, but yeah. There were some nice new features. It's just kind of sad that it went the way it did.
With enough time, practice, and patience, you can essentially trivialize the game across multiple playthroughs. Sometimes I get cocky because I've beaten all the Souls games multiple times.
Oh, that was a real bad parry. Also, I'm feeling called out right here. Sometimes I get so cocky because I've beaten the Souls games multiple times. Yeah, I know where this is going.
And when I start to play carelessly is when I get reminded that I can't fuck around because I'll get punished.
Can't fuck around. I'm get punished. Yeah, that's just how it happens.
But whether you've got a bow, magic, miracles, or a crap ton of upgraded armor pieces, you use the tools you have to your advantage, and don't be afraid to use them. Dark Souls is difficult. You've heard that.
Let's do 15. Whoa.
A million times, but why the challenge is so renowned is because it's not bullshit difficulty.
Oh, such a good thing. Difficult. Times. You know, I'm going to actually split this off. I'll do 0, 21, 28. Okay.
You've heard that a million times, but why the challenge is so renowned is because it's not bullshit difficulty.
It's the jackals from Halo. Yeah, on legendary difficulty, jackal snipers, instantaneous death. Very, very fun and engaging gameplay on Legend.
For the most part. Yes.
For the most part. Yeah, Capra Demon is definitely one of those, like, okay, this is some bullshit.
There is trial and error, but again, that connects with the themes, with the gameplay. You learn through failure. In fact, that's like the only way to learn.
Bonk!
Pain is an excellent teacher.
If I had to highlight some negative aspects of the game, Capra Demon fight is just so fucking stupid. There's no way.
Yes. That is an easy. This is one of those ones where it's like when you see people complain about the game, an easy win for your side in favor of the game being bad is mention the Capra Demon fight. Absolutely, the Capra Demon fight is notoriously shit. Yeah, the dogs are literally the true boss of that fight. Bullshit! The fight is a pain in the ass.
going through that door for the first time that you're going to come out on top. It's just not going to happen. You have almost no time to take in your surroundings before you get ass blasted. Ceaseless Discharge has some pretty questionable hitboxes, and
Yep.
the bed of chaos is, well, the bed of chaos.
Yeah, or the bed of bullshit, as I like to call her. Bed of bullshit. The arena had me going southpaw on my weapons just so I could safely smack the dogs on top of the stairs. Yeah, I do. What I do is you just try to run up the top of the stairs, get to that little corner, and I just try to poke. If you have an S stock, a rapier, a spear, or something like that, just poke. Poke, poke, poke. Easy way to deal with the doggos. But yeah, once the dogs are done, the fight is literally over because Capper Demon is not threatening at all.
But aside from some of that cheap bullshit, there's a saying my martial arts master told me. Luck favors the prepared man. So if you hear about this place that's called Blight Town, you might consider finding or buying gear and items that can counteract some of the shit you'd expect to see in a place called Blight Town.
Yeah, that's, I gotta agree. So, you may go find gear and items that could be found in a place called Blight Town. Yeah.
Of course, there ain't no gear that can counteract that frame rate.
Oh, yeah, Prepare to Die edition. Woohoo! Ain't no... Prepare to Die edition says hello. Yeah, someplace so toxic, even your frame rate gets sick. Toxic blow dart guys are an actual goddamn menace. Yep. I actually put, I had a thing in the, that I was gonna do. I don't think I can get away with it, but I know one thing I can get away with, which is I'm gonna do the usual, like, freeze frame and slowly zoom in, and the sounds like people screaming, or maybe the 2001: A Space Odyssey, the thing as it's zooming in and it starts going redder and redder and everything like that. I wanted to do the "and you're toxic to me." That obviously will get flagged for copyright like instantly, but yeah. Why am I poison? Why am I toxic? Fucking, oh man, those damn little scarecrows are such a pain in the ass. I get a lovely drink in. Actually, I should make it clear that I'm not saying Prepare to Die edition fixes this. I should say, says hello, and then cries in the corner as it renders all of Blight Town at once for some reason. Oh God. I'm so glad in the remaster they're like, okay, we need some actual culling here, okay? We need some at-range cull renders so it doesn't render the entirety of Blighttown in one fucking go. The guys don't even shoot you with blow darts, they just spit their rotten teeth at you. Wouldn't fucking surprise me.
Preparing yourself with upgraded weapons, leveling up, and a utility bag full of tricks is how you can conquer the game, and that's something I really love. The preparation you make before the next challenge, before the next excursion. Combat is fluid and heavily favors one-on-one encounters.
Okay, yep. Excuse me. That is one aspect of it. If something uses more CPU instead of GPU, that is another aspect of it, for sure. Hey, Rapar, welcome.
It's slow and methodical. Attacks have long wind-up times, but to counteract this, they have brutally punishing damage.
I don't feel so good. Prepare to Die edition, yeah. So let's just use the Poison Cloud. Poison Cloud, Poison Cloud. Or Toxic Miasma. Oh, boy.
A lot of games might have the illusion of multiple enemies attacking you, but oftentimes they only attack one at a time, and act like mindless goons in the background. This is not the case with Dark Souls.
Yeah, this is definitely for sure. This is why this room in particular always got called the Run Kill Room. This room right here, it was the Run Kill Room for speedruns, or Brazzers. Brazzers. And if you get the reference why it's called Brazzers, yeah, we've all been there, don't worry. But really, like a dumbass. Dark Souls does not do this. They all attack you at once.
Getting surrounded is a surefire way of getting your ass handed to you and sent back to the bonfire. So playing smart, observing your surroundings, and trying to go for one-on-one fights is essential to success. Let's talk about PvP.
Yeah! Oh man, oh man. It's the fucking PvP hot zone, baby. Let's talk about the PvP. The PvP.
In the early days, it took players a while to figure out what weapons and builds were most effective against other players.
Yeah, baby, Giant Dad. Yeah, I hate games that don't have any. So, I hate hyper armor in general. If the hyper armor affects the entire wind up and everything as well, that is horrible. However, you do need some kind of hyper armor to actually allow attacks through. If you are already over halfway through the attack, you should just let the attack go through. It is infinitely more infuriating if you are you're, as Daniel K puts it, you're 99% through the attack and you get poked, and that just stops that last 1%. It's like, no, you got poked. Oh, that is a great way to make your combat system feel shit.
It sucks to say, but there's a lot of mechanics that can be abused in Dark Souls PvP.
Well, yeah. Or be me, be the asshole that does soul level 1 runs and then decides to invade on my soul level 1 character in the Undead Burg. It's a bit broken.
In the early days, it took players a while to figure out what weapons and builds were...
Oh, hi, Scam Likely. No. Thank you. Alright.
most effective against other players. It sucks to say, but there's a lot of mechanics that can be abused in Dark Souls PvP. I've run up against so many just cheesy one-shot glass cannon source.
Well, yeah. That's it. That just goes without saying.
Builds in this game. That's no fun. There's no fun going up against that every single invasion. And for one, if you stock up on humanity, you can exploit that to pretty much heal indefinitely. There's a lot of cheese tactics too, and I've been the victim of some very questionable backstabs and hitboxes. Like, how the fuck did this arrow hit me?
You want to know how it hit you? That's peer-to-peer connection, baby. So, on your end, it looked cheesy and wonky as hell. On their end, it was totally fine. So, this is part of why I like the remaster so much, is because it got rid of a lot of this. Unfortunately, it got rid of a lot of other stuff, like dead angles and everything, but this is why. Because peer-to-peer was a god-awful system. I'm so glad that they are never going back to that system ever again, because it sucks. And with a peer-to-peer system, one of the two systems has to be the deciding factor in it. If System A, in this case your system, says that you are not in line with it, but System B, your opponent, says you were in line with it and got hit, one of the two has to take priority. They can't do a check. Well, yeah, so.
You serious? This was mostly forgivable in the original Dark Souls, but in the remastered version, so many of these exploits weren't fixed. See this video by Inferno Plus for a full breakdown on these bugs, because it highlights the problems with the PvP perfectly.
But they couldn't fix backstabbing in the PvP, because they would have to rewrite the entirety of the code to fix backstabbing, because From Software didn't even know how to fix backstabbing. They tried with Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 is, I'd say, the best the best implementation of the backstabbing by far, but it's still pretty fucking jank. And now they've tried in Elden Ring to do backstabbing with an angle check, but the angle check is too extreme in Elden Ring. Like, it is ridiculous. Let's see. 24 highlights some of the major issues with PvP in Dark Souls, especially backstab fishing.
But those moments when you get into a long-winded battle and both have drained your Estus and dueled to the death, those are magical moments. One of the greatest things about this system are the benevolent invaders. People who invade you with the apparent intention to kill you and pilfer your humanity, but turn out to give you nice items and leave. I once had a guy invade me in Blighttown while I was dying by those toxic bastards. I had barely enough HP to survive it with no Estus left. When the invader approached me, I showed him I was out of Estus, and when I was going through the menus to drop a humanity for him so he wouldn't have to kill me, he dropped 2 for me and then black crystalled out. That type of kindness, in such a cruel, harsh world, can really bring warmth to your heart and pick you up when you're down. There's
Oh, God. Yeah. 2430 relates a story about benevolent invaders. I don't need messages, man. Stop sending me messages. Invaders. It not being a guaranteed system is what makes it so special. Yeah, that's what you try to do. If you are actually benevolent in the Dragon Covenant and you're in a duel with somebody and you die, or sorry, they die, you try to jump off of a cliff or something like that, try to get yourself killed as fast as you can so that you both get rewarded for it.
a lot of nuances to the PvP system, too many to go into, but being able to help or hinder the progress of others is an awesome idea. Just as your Estus Flask has a lore-related reason for being in the game, so too does the multiplayer.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact.
This statement by Solaire is a perfectly vague explanation. Do the summon signs and invasions send you back or forward in time? Do they send you to an identical world with a different chosen undead? There's no concrete reason behind it, but it's safe to say without the multiplayer component and this description from Solaire, Dark Souls would lose a lot of its magic. This is a journey where you don't have to go it alone. You can share it with others, both good people and evil. Other players can leave their summon signs or messages, and depending on the player, they may be trying to help, hinder your progress, or send you off a cliff. The gameplay overall is fantastic and unique, offering limitless possibilities for experimentation and build. And the PvP is there to not only enhance the experience, but to build up the world of Lordran, and offer great gameplay opportunities if you ever get bored of fighting the AI. But what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Dark Souls?
Oh, boss battle. Okay, we're in a new section. Yeah. There wasn't really much to talk about in there because it's just the usual stuff about PvP. However, we will have to make sure we definitely mention that. So, boss battles. Alrighty. Not used to this concept of kindness and civility online. Yeah, happens. Alright. I will be right back a second though, chat. I am going to go to the bathroom real quick. And we'll go from there. Lovely water. Alright. Make sure you do your stretches. Oh. And I will be back in a moment. back. If I had a penny for every instance of civility online, I'd be in crippling debt. No, you should have said if you had $1,000 for every instance of civility online, you'd be in crippling debt. Well, that's what looks like Elden Ring is going to have. It looks like Elden Ring is actually going to have a full co-op capability. Because you can just run through the entire world with your co-op partner. That's what it looks like. That's how it seemed to play out in the network test, everything. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that works. Will it send them away at the end of boss battles? Will it not? That'll be interesting.
That's right. It's the motherfucking bosses.
Nice. Great mod, by the way. Dunkmaster Ornstein and Slamau. There's not much we can comment on this. This is just a great choice. Not only because doing the Space Jam and their theme song together, but yeah, having the mod that actually gives them the basketball jerseys is fucking great.
A classic staple of video games and the big highlights of Dark Souls. I'd go so far as to say that this game revolutionized difficulty in the mainstream's view.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 2650. The highlight of the games, and I would say this game revolutionized the mainstream perception of difficulty.
Because most of the bosses are so perfectly designed.
Yeah. Because
they're all huge and epic. They intimidate and make us feel tiny. And even ones like Pinwheel that are super easy, or the Bed of Chaos that are cheap as hell. All these bosses offer value in either gameplay, challenge, lore, atmosphere, or all of the above.
Yep. 2720. All of these bosses give us lore, gameplay, challenge, or all of the above.
The first time going up against each one of these bad boys, I can safely say I died against all but Gwendolyn, Pinwheel, and the Demon Fire Sage. The bosses evolve.
Well, the Demon Fire Sage, you would have had, you know, at least experience from fighting the Asylum Demon. So, understandable. It's not just difficult for the sake of being hard, but because it's just a part of the game world. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely agree. Alright.
Evolve as you progress, and this is demonstrated in 3 fights in particular. Stage 1 is the Asylum Demon, your introduction.
Okay, I need to hear what he said again.
And the Demon Fire Sage. The bosses evolve as you progress, and this is demonstrated in 3 fights in particular. Stage 1 is the Asylum Demon, your introduction to bosses. This fatty is here to teach you the mechanics of these fights, and use your surroundings to your advantage. Stage 2, the Bell Garg.
Oh, I guess I should do this instead of that as a marking. All right.
Gargoyles show the player that not every fight will be straightforward, and it gives you a taste of a boss with more than one enemy. Finally, the famous Ornstein and Smo battle is Stage 3. These guys' attacks complement each other perfectly, and they attack in unison. They are what separates the wheat from the chaff. This is the point that you get the Lord Vessel in the story, to discover your destiny. And if you can beat these two bad boys, you have what it takes to beat the game. Everything you experience through these 3 key bosses are the lessons you need to know to complete Dark Souls.
28, 18. Wait, did he say the lessons? Hold on a second.
Bad boys, you have what it takes to beat the game. Everything you experience through these 3 key bosses are the lessons you need to know to complete Dark Souls.
Let's see. Also, again, a bit of disappointing with RE8 and RE7 playing high difficulty actually changes the game world, and RE8 it just makes enemies spongier and do more damage. Yeah, that sucks. You gotta hate when they take the super lazy way out of difficulty.
Souls. Probably my favorite boss fight in the entire Souls series is the 4 Kings.
Okay, so his favorite boss fight is the 4 Kings. Interesting. 28, 25. Favorite fight is the 4 Kings in the entire series, perhaps. Alright.
Because as far as I can remember, it's the only arena that can kill you instantly, and it is scary as fuck. This is the most stressful fight in the game because the Kings are not only challenging, have high HP, deadly ranged and close-up attacks, but there's more than one of them. Their swords are so big they swing around behind them. I mean, the pressure to take out one king before the next one shows up as fast as possible is unlike any other pressure or stress I've felt in a video game. The utter blackness makes it hard to gauge how far away the kings are. You have absolutely no cover to hide behind, and those homing bullets track you for like 15 seconds. It's so exhilarating. The 4 Kings perfectly illustrate a well-designed boss fight in every way.
Okay, so there's his. 2910, the 4 Kings illustrate a perfectly designed boss fight in every way.
Now, because gamers will play through using different builds, the difficulty of bosses can vary. For instance, in my first playthrough, I beat ONS on my second try. No lie. You know how I'm not lying? Because I died to both of these Hydras at least 15 times. I just could not get the fight down for the life of me.
Yeah, it's because the Hydras are fucking jankosaurus, man. They are jank.
I'd rather get shot by these spitballs or fall to my death. Going through it now, they're a piece of cake, but my first time, good lord. Every single boss in the game brings something new and different to the table. Yeah, there's a couple stinkers like the Demon Fire Sage, but overall, they bring a whole new level of
Okay. Here, 29, 40. Yeah, there.
Terror and fear to an already hostile world.
Alright. You know what? We have been on the Bone Wheel Dance. We've been on the Bone Wheel Dance the entire stream, basically. Let's switch over to the merchants. Alright. $50. Okay. 0, 29, 50. Level design.
In my opinion, there are some games that should be played a certain way to get the most out of them. To tie into my earlier point about how Dark Souls makes you curious, the best playthrough is your first one, because you have no idea what's around the corner.
Exactly. Go into Dark Souls blind. I am 100% on board with that. And then the first... blind. Don't use online guides and cheat sheets.
What to expect. This is why I think watching guides or gameplay before you play the game yourself is a cardinal sin. You shouldn't do that, because half the fun is discovering things on your own and getting your ass whooped. Not many games give players such an extraordinary urge to explore and make it so dangerous at the same time. It's not even just the enemies you have to look out for. Gravity has killed me more times than any single boss.
Also being retarded. That's usually how gravity gets you. It's that moment that you do something dumb. Gravity has killed me more times than every single boss. Gravity boss is the real boss of the game. Yeah, usually being retarded is how gravity boss kills you. That's every player. That's every player that goes through the Souls series. It's Gravity Boss. Gravity Boss is waiting, and he will come, and he will collect. Proceed forward. Oh, okay. Alright.
And if you head into the wrong direction early on, you'll likely get butt-fucked by skeletons or ghosts. But if you knew where to go beforehand because you looked it up, you're forfeiting part of the experience for convenience. And here's another thing.
Yep, How do you kill Gravity Boss? You learn to fly. That's how you kill Gravity Boss.
Finding out which areas fuck you up and which ones don't makes you want to get stronger so you can go back to those areas. The tip... Temptation of new weapons, souls, plunder, and pillage is much too hard for adventurous gamers like us to refuse. That's what entices me about Dark Souls. Combined with the healing system,
Oh, that's an O. Wow. I actually put an O in there. Nice. 0. There we go.
there's a risk-reward scenario. I mean, perhaps
Fly, another reason why you should join the Dragon Covenant. Yeah, exactly. Join the Dragon Covenant. Learn to fly. Beat Gravity Boss. Excuse me.
you're down to 2 chugs of that sweet Sunny D, but you feel close to a bonfire or special treasure. Do you risk death?
115. Creates a hypothetical situation.
Your souls and humanity to press on? Or do you turn back, play it safe, and try again? These decisions you make throughout the game are crucial. Which bonfires you kindle, if you've got humanity to spare, you've got to scrounge and collect everything you possibly can to be prepared. Thank God there's no limitations on your inventory.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, Demon Souls, weight, carry capacity, and item capacity. Oh boy. There's a reason they got rid of that system and did not look back. It was a very good idea to get rid of those.
Choice made by the player can have its rewards and consequences. What separates Dark Souls from many
40. Hey, Anarchist, welcome.
other games is nobody is essential.
Thank God.
The game doesn't have any arbitrary barriers on who you can and can't kill. Some NPCs will encourage you to help them, while others will try to send you on the path of bloodshed.
Most fools have more humanity than they know what to do with. Now, who do you imagine will make the best use of it?
You could say there's even a morality system built into the game, but it's not measured with some arbitrary number. It's your own moral compass.
That's a good point. 08, I would say, would be the most accurate one for that. But how you doing today, Anarchist? You having a good day?
When it comes to level design, art style, and feeling of the different areas, Dark Souls is perfection. If not the closest thing to it.
Perfection. If not the... to it. Alright, that's fair.
Firelink Shrine is a great hub area. that leads you to the following locations. Undead Parish.
Okay, I'll just make a note here. 230 is a great Undead Parish, Undead Burg, Catacombs, New Londo Ruins.
Undead Burg, Catacombs, New Londo Ruins, Valley of the Drakes.
Yeah, but New Londo Ruins kind of leads you to the Valley of the Drakes. Fair enough. So, yeah.
Blighttown, and the Undead Asylum.
Well, if you're gonna consider Valley of the Drakes and Blight, it's too different. Because Valley of the Drakes will lead you into Darkroot Basin. But, okay. And back to the Undead Asylum.
That's 7 freaking locations accessible after the tutorial, if you pick the Master Key. Remember how
If you pick the Master Key.
I talked about connection? The same thing applies here. That's freedom, that's choice. And yeah, many of those areas are tough early on, but there's nothing stopping you from going there anyways. One fan favorite technique is to go through the catacombs and kill Pinwheel early on so you can get the Rite of Kindling. Having a series of complicated paths, shortcuts, secret areas, and hidden bonfires like this can make it difficult to remember.
No, not the Sin system. Yeah, no. He's talking about, like, choosing who to kill and who not to kill, who to betray, who not to betray. There's no, like, advantage or disadvantage. It doesn't say, like, you killed X. You are now vilified, or, or your karma is now lower. None of that happens. There is the Sin system, yes, but it isn't as significant of a punishment. You can be invaded for being a sinner, which, doesn't really mean anything because you can literally set your own sin level, which is annoying because, hackers. Alright, have a good morning as well, Rapar. You have a fantastic day. Milsurp gas mask, just because I think they're cool and have some spare cash. Haven't even had luck finding them. They've only been looking for 10 minutes. Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair. Well, keep looking. There are usually a lot of surplus supply stuff.
Where you are and where you need to go. But it's like knowing the area around your house, and once you know, you never forget. You realize this type of connected level design is very beneficial to the game's experience. The design... Designers want you to understand which paths lead where, and memorizing them will make your life easier. I want to emphasize that...
Yep, the wormy apple, as game trailers called it.
Dark Souls, in every aspect of its design, rewards the intelligent player, the attentive player, and because...
I agree with that. That's absolutely true.
Because the world of Dark Souls can immerse so well with its scenery, the gameplay can immerse you on the same level. This might be somewhat controversial, but having the ability to warp between bonfires was something I thought you had to earn. Giving that tool...
I agree. I like that you had to earn the ability to warp. I I understand why people like it, but I think you lost something.
To the player right after the first boss might be convenient, but doing that risks losing one of the greatest parts of this game, a connected world that feels real.
We're getting close to time, so if I don't come to tomorrow's stream, you have a good Christmas, and I'll see you Monday. Yeah, you as well, dude. Yeah, tomorrow's stream will probably just be some more of us embarrassing ourselves in Dark Souls 3 PvP, because I have gotten so rusty at Dark Souls 3 PvP, I am doing absolutely shit. We're getting more kills again, but oh my god, I am doing so bad in Dark Souls 3 PvP. It's fucking embarrassing.
Each area offers new obstacles for the player.
Or maybe tomorrow we'll do a special thing or something. I don't know. We'll think about what to do tomorrow.
Player to overcome, but every one of them shares a similarity. Gravity is a fucking bitch. Crystal Caves forces you to be attentive, or guess what happens. Luckily, and you'll find this good game design in every corner of Dark Souls, the player can grab these prism stones on the way there, and use them to get through. Tomb of the Giants puts you in utter darkness, forcing you to sacrifice your shield for a light source, or your helmet. Lost Izalith and Demon Ruins have large patches of lava. New Londo Ruins throws a bunch of ghosts at you that appear from above, below.
We think we're gonna do the next stag on Sunday after Christmas. We think. I'll have to poke Cree and see. I'm not entirely sure. I'll let you know tomorrow when the new stag stream will be for sure.
And can move through walls. The enemies you face aren't the only things hostile to the player. The environment is too. Good old Sen's Fortress, and of course, The Abyss. From Software got... very creative with all the different ways they could kill you in this game, and that's something I appreciate. And as I keep reiterating, Dark Souls is very unorthodox in almost every conceivable way. And with the use of mods, and thanks to Shazez, sorry if I said your name wrong, we can actually see how detailed the world is beyond the normal boundaries.
Out of all the episodes that I've done of Boundary Break, I've never seen so much detail to a set of buildings that were off in the distance.
Most games will have very low quality rendering on the stuff that's in the background, places you can't even access. That's to save on memory. But Miyazaki doesn't give a fuck. He wants immersion, damn it, and he got it. Dark Souls...
Miyazaki doesn't give a fuck. He wants immersion. Yeah, we can mention that as a note here.
Put so much effort into the backgrounds just to make you feel immersed.
Alright. That's where we're going to have to call it for today, unfortunately. So yeah, we're going to have to finish off the last bit of this video Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just do that next Tuesday. Have ourselves a good old time. I guess we'll do, I'll note that the next one will be a short one. We'll do Act Man, finishing off it, and then doing a Dark Souls challenge run or something. We'll do that as part of the stream next time. Maybe I'll do, maybe we'll do shields only or something like that. Especially since I'll be able to do the sends. We'll be able to do the send skip. Yeah, we can do the send skip. I'll be able to do all the item duping and everything like that. So that should be a totally fine one for that. So for now, guys, I will hit you with one of these, and I'll thank every single one of you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic time. I certainly did. Hopefully you'll join me back here tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a Merry fucking Christmas. Stay safe and healthy. And yeah, peace out. Not a door shield round, no. It'll be a shield only. There's no door shield in Dark Souls 1. Yeah. Till then, guys, peace out.